This is the Lawns Tactical Challenge. This is part of a bigger series where we create formations and see how we need to adapt to different kinds of systems. Yes, the 5-2-2-1 with Lawns has certainly come a long way, and we're almost done with the different strategies that we need to employ. We can only use one tactic, we can't change the tactic, and all youth training has to be delegated. You will also find me streaming 5 times a week, apart from the playthroughs that I do on this challenge. And on Wednesdays, you can always pop in and, join us on the show called Bring Your Tactics, a chance for you to showcase your tactics or perhaps get a different perspective. Here you'll notice my strategies. I've already worked out my strategies for most of the systems. Now it's a case of fine-tuning them. In certain cases, I am simplifying this. For example, here you'll see the 4-2-3-1, the 5-2-2-1, and the 5-2-1-2. Now, all these systems seem to have something in common, right? The white center back. I have white center backs in my 5-2-2-1, but you'll notice here in a 4-2-3-1, depending on the situation, I might find myself needing to push my white wing backs onto an attack duty. So once I score a goal, we'll drop it to wingback on support. So what I've done is for my tactic, now on default, my 5-2-2-1 actually starts with wingbacks on support because I find that to be the common denominator. If I want to score goals and I want to push, then I'll get the wingbacks to go on attack duty, especially when I'm playing systems with only wingbacks. Now, if I'm forced into playing against these kind of systems, then I don't want their wingbacks pushing up the pitch and dictating play. So my wingbacks go on attack duty immediately. The moment we score a goal, they drop back to wingbacks on support. It's really simple to understand. Then, if I play against a 4-4-2, which has been kind of a pain in the butt, we start immediately with wingbacks on support. We play on a normal tempo. So basically is the default tactic that I start with. We'll use that against the 4-4-2. The 4-2-4 is much more dangerous because the idea here behind the 4-2-4 is we cannot afford to have lower possession than the opponents, because if we build our attacks and then we lose it in transition, then it's only going to give them a chance to hit us on a counter with their advanced wingers and strikers. So here the idea basically is to keep the ball. Positive mentality at home, cautious mentality away from home. No counter pressing, so we don't open up our spaces, and we only play with wingbacks and support. Tempo on normal, hitting the early cross. Now, people have asked me this question: when do you use hit early cross? Now, hit early cross is a simple instruction. It just tells your players not to go down to the byline and cross the ball. Now, some roles might do that. Remember, instructions are a tendency to do something more or less of. So when you use hit early crosses, you're kind of asking your players, where you can, please try and cross the ball earlier. This is closer to the 25-yard line, the 30-yard line. They will not, sometimes won't go down to the byline and they'll cross early. The advantage of doing this is you do this crossing before a team can get back into position to defend. Then we've got the 4-3-3 DM. Now, the 4-3-3 DM system can be dangerous because if you play with fullbacks and support, it's a very defensive system. You need to actually put pressure on that system. Here, our white center backs go on attack, and we play on a higher tempo. We, in fact, push up the pitch and we try to shut down their DM, making sure that he's tight marked all the time. Otherwise, we play the game with 2 wingbacks on support with positive mentality. This means that if some sides come out and play wingbacks instead of fullbacks, then I'm being a bit more cautious. Once again, I don't want them to hit me on the break. We have more than enough players to handle them defensively. So the idea here, again, is to make it harder for them to score their goals. So our tactic is pretty straightforward. No changes to the tactical system apart from now starting with wingbacks and support. Once again, over time we made some changes. Now this white centre back on support is here instead of white centre back on defend. A ball playing defender with dribble more, stay wider, mark tighter. Wingbacks on support, total mark tight. Shoot on sight is something now I'm liberally using in all my tactics. And yeah, this has been the tactic. The challenge with this 5-2-2-1 is if you don't have players to come off the bench for these 2 positions, because once these 2 players get tired, we struggle. Here, for example, against Monaco, we were in control of this game from the get-go. I mean, we scored 2 early goals in the game. However, as the match wore on and my players got tired, I could not take them. I didn't have anybody off the bench to come and replace this 2 center mids. And by then, we found it hard to handle Monaco, because with that, Monaco was able to come back. They got a corner and then 1 more goal in open play. Our players just too tired. They managed to share the points. With 4 games left to the end of the season, we've already qualified for the Champions League. The question is, where do we finish on the table? So our next match is against Start Rim. What formation will they be playing with? They're playing a 4-3-3 now. A 4-3-3 with wingback and fullback, winger, inverter, winger, advanced forward. According to me notes, now, according to these notes here, I'm going to use 2 fullbacks. I'm going to go on attacking mentality. Otherwise, start with 2 wingbacks on positive mentality. Now, this is interesting. Wingbacks from support to attack. This is when teams are a bit defensive. Now, this is probably has to be changed because this is an older one. White centre back. I don't use a white centre back there now. I use a ball playing defender. So we change BPD to white centre back on attack. What we've done is we've gone in here. We changed our tactics. Like we've kept the same tactic. Wingback on support, wingback on support. We've got this ball playing defender right now here. If I need to change this, we will change this to white center back if they're very, very defensive. Here I've got shoot on sight. We might drop this later, but I'm going to raise my tempo. Seems like the entire game is played in our half. We've got almost 80% of possession. This is a lot. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to work ball into box. And I'm going to push my players higher. So we're going to turn this guy into a white center back on attack. We'll play this as a wing back on attack. And we'll attack them a lot more. We'll keep. And we'll push our line higher. Max out our pressing. And we've scored the early goal from a corner. Cabo into the area. Junior Onana takes the ball down and then smashes it home. Now this is a chance for us to drop because they're probably now going to be a lot more attacking. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this role back to a ball playing defender on defense. He's got to stay wider. We'll leave this guy as a wing back on attack for now. We've got Cabo on the right, plays it on Onana. Sotoka comes in, takes a shot. Machado makes it 2. It's 2-0. Okay, so that's not bad. We've taken a 2-goal lead right now. This striker has not been very good for us. Openda is suspended. He's normally the starting striker now. Yeah, Onana out to the wing back on attack. This is going to be Ziegler's walking orders. All right, so at this point, I don't think we need to do very much. Shabani out wide is a shadow striker. Comes inside, runs all over the place, and then rocks the crossbar. But Sotoka might be offside. It's a 3rd goal. It's good. And we're 3 up already. Okay. Now I only have to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm going to push him here. Take this player off and bring on Poreba. Rubio for, I'll leave Rubio alone. Aidara for Machado. We're going into a narrow system. We don't have to do anything right now. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it. What I normally try to do against these narrow systems is I'll force those wingbacks into just staying on the flanks, but I don't think we need to worry four up with a man advantage. Okay, we'll just I don't have anyone I can play in the center of the park. Frankowski for Junior Onana. Maybe him. Okay, we got a corner from Cabo. Poreba, Cabo. Fortes, Cabo again. Goes back to Danso. Rual, Onana. Shabani makes it 5. I'm going to try and score a few more goals now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn this guy into a white center back on attack. And we're going to go on attacking mentality. We got Idara to Fortes. Fortes finds Idara. Ball playing defender looks for the white center back on attack. Wing back finds, and then Sotoka should have scored. Goalkeeper has done well. Corner to be taken by our wing back. Plays it short. to the other wing back. Oh, that header should have been on target. We should have had 2 more goals. Both opportunities, very good XGs. And game over. Okay, looking at our performance before they're sending off, I think they got a player sent off in the second half. Total domination all the way. Even before that, we created some very good chances. And yeah, the XG, one of these XG chances, our third goal has got a very good XG. Yeah, this is the it's almost an open goal. Yeah. Goalkeeper isn't there, so this is very high. The XG this is 1.25, 0.5. That's 0.7, almost as good as 0.7 XG chance. Good. So we've got our win, and if I'm looking at my notes, basically I followed the same thing, right? We kept counter pressing, counter wingbacks. The wingback on support. I did change one of the wingbacks to attack DT. I left the other one on support. I played on a higher tempo. I raised the defensive line. We went on max pressing. Yeah, basically. In other words, what this was trying to tell me was keep the ball and attack them. But because they are playing with one fullback and one wingback, I figured they were going to be a bit more defensive. As long as we kept possession, the first clue was the possession we had in the game was almost 80%. So that was my first clue that I should just attack them even more. And that's what we did. We put more pressure on them. In the end, we got the win that we needed to get. Our next match against Lorient, they're playing a 4-2-3-1, wingbacks, 1 DM, more RPM, target forward wingers. Interesting formation. According to my notes, higher mentality, counter press, counter. After scoring wingback on attack, goes to wingback on support. Mentality to cautious and change poacher to advance forward. OI fullback showing them to the flanks. Okay, so my OI is already doing that. Higher mentality, counter press, counter. Why I go from wingback attack to wingback supports? Essentially, when I'm using a poacher, it's attacking, but I don't look for a lot of vertical movement, right? So I just have one player in the area. We've got threats. I'm not depending on too many players to get into the area, so that's okay. But if I change from poacher to advanced forward, means I've got a lead and I'm trying to hit teams on the break, which is the reason why we use an advanced forward. Okay, so we're playing away from home. Knowing that those are my notes, what I'm going to do for our match is this. So if I set it up like that, this is the position that we're going to be in if I've already scored a goal, right? And I'll change it to an advanced forward. Yeah, so let's just quick pick our team. So our mentality is very positive. We leave it like this. I will actually start the game like this, and I won't change anything. I just leave it as default. And if we do score a goal, this is assuming I've already scored a goal, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so we'll just start it as if I've scored a goal. Yeah, so more or less, I'm expecting them to attack me and hit them quickly. So, except I'm not using cautious mentality. So it's honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. I'll have to start going in here. I got to change this around. So we're using him as a poacher. All right, so we're going to keep the ball. That's how we start. Okay, and then we'll go wing back on attack. Let's just stick to the notes, man. The notes are already written. Why am I making life harder for myself? Cabo with the ball, wingback on support into the area. Openda with the header. Okay, all right, Openda. Don't worry, we've told you to be a poacher. So we got Cabo playing it down to the playmaker. Playmaker finds the wingback. Shabani's header. Okay, so it's not a bad start. I think we'll remove shoot on side. Go to work ball into box. Labritz, Lefree, Medina intercepts that. Rual, Medina plays it to Machado, comes inside, gives it to the white centre back. The ball playing defender brings it forward. Good work from the register. He finds the playmaker. It's a simple tap in because the poacher is in the perfect position. Right? This is the reason why I like poachers. Poachers, you don't have to worry, They're going to be in central areas most of the time. If you get a nice attack going, they'll be just waiting and they're there. Yeah, brilliant goal from the poacher. Okay. He's not actually a poacher. He's playing as an advanced forward. No, he's a poacher. Correct. He's a poacher. He's not advanced forward. Okay, so oh no. That's on the edge of the area. Ref, it's not a penalty. Cabo, you're not going off. Don't worry. Referee is gonna give a no penalty decision. Okay, we've already scored our goal, right? So what we can do is go to wingback support. Follow the notes. Wingback support. Okay, now yeah, follow the notes. Okay. All right. I hate playing off notes. It's like you study for an examination, you gotta follow the format of the answer. All right, we'll do exactly that. All right. This is the thing about me and doing notes. Okay. There's a there are plenty of times when I refuse to follow that because I just don't like to be predictable. I mean, this is a game, so you can't afford to be predictable because the algorithm is not unpredictable. Yeah, that's the thing about games. So if you have a predictable response to the algorithm, you should do okay. Morphy with a shot, goalkeeper as well. And we are going to demand more from the boys. I think we can drop our defensive line. No, I think we're playing on cautious or high press. Yeah, standard defensive line. We're fine. We don't have to do anything. Okay, into the area. There goes Abdul Samed. Plays it back to Junior Onana. Plays in the area. Openda chips. It's two. Okay. He's gone from poacher now to advance forward. And it's two. Good work from the boys. That's a good goal. All right. So we scored 2 goals. Now looking at the tactic again, cautious. I'm gonna remove football into box. Makes no sense. Yeah, that was my bad. Now I'll go back to shoot on side. Play on a higher tempo. Yeah, you can play on a higher tempo if you want to just get the ball quickly, hit them between the lines, right? So common sense. All this. I mean, I have guidelines, but they're not going to be like something that is you gotta use a bit of common sense even when you do guidelines. Junior Onana into the area. Here goes Costa. See, we are now trying to get the ball. Our movement is a bit faster. Shabani. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're gonna have to take Cabo off in the second half. Maybe Onana as well. Okay, so tactics. We'll take where's Frankowski, and then Poreba. We didn't bring him. We'll bring him instead. That's an 18-year-old kid who's got 8 for anticipation and 9 for concentration. Yeah, we're just we're just trying to find out if he is good enough for the first team. Openda finds Puli. Puli plays a simple pass to the wing back. Oh, he loses the ball. That was terrible. And then Frankowski comes back. Shabani, Puli, the playmaker again loses the ball. And they're getting in and they're getting goal scoring opportunities. So we'll shout at the boys and demand more. Here comes the playmaker into the area. That's my son screaming in the background. That's the ball winning midfielder. Shoot. And yep, things looking good, right? With our comfortable 2-0 lead. Machado to Rual to Samit. I like playing cautious mentality now, especially Football Manager 23. It's kind of a cool team instruction. But the thing is, right, our cautious mentality is mitigating. There's no PIs in our system. Except for this. There are not a lot of PIs in our system. So I'm actually kind of happy the way it's been set up. And then our team passing instructions is shorter. Tempo is higher, so it's fine. What a nice pass to Openda. Openda squares it. Shabani makes it the third goal. Very nice football from Lons. The playmaker plays it out wide to the advance forward. So he's not in the center anymore like a poacher. Right? He goes wide, and I guess who comes in? The shadow striker. So this is good. It's our third goal. Our finish the season is very strong. I like this. Maybe the notes are coming good after all. So Lon's 95 points now. I think we are doing quite well. Player call up. I don't know who this guy is. Monaco book Champions League ticket. So looking at the table, we are 1 point clear of PS. Next, Lons play Ayasio. Interestingly enough, we're going to have to play against a 4-4-2. So what do our notes say? It's time for us to read our notes. We have to follow our notes as well. Positive mentality, home or away, counter press, counter, wing backs from attack to support, tempo, normal. So if I go to my tactic and it's now pouring right now, we're going to bring the tempo is fine. We're going to remove this. We're going to work ball into box. Or rather, I'm just going to remove work ball into box altogether. So we're not going to have any of that. Wing backs on support. Both the wing backs on support. I think the general idea is to keep the ball. Okay, so that should be fine. Let's get cranking. And let's hope that we can get the win that we need. If we win this game, the pressure will be on PSG. And encourage the boys. Our wingback is already on a yellow card. That was fast. Cabo with the throw. Machado. Shabani's header gives us the early lead. But easy offside. There are question marks about his positioning. And it's been disallowed. We'll demand more of the same from the boys. Again, 73% possession. Easily doing well in that regard. We could get those ball playing defenders in the area. I could put more pressure on this fullback driven system, which is what I'm going to try and do now. Okay, so we're going to turn this guy into a wingback on attack. And I'm going to play this guy as a wingback, white center back on attack as well. So we're going to start exerting a lot more pressure down this side of the pitch where they have a Mazzala and an inverted winger. Just a small change, right? But it's risky. So we got Openda coming back. Now Machado with the ball. Goes to Medina. Finds the ball playing defender. That's our Regista looking to white wing back on attack. Gets in the area. We get the goal we needed. That was good. Because by doing so, we've actually created a very attacking right wing here. So that we've got one wing back keeping in touch with that advance forward. So we get in to score the goal. All right, so now I'm taking the risk. This is kind of risky, so I'm going to remove this and bring him back to being a ball-playing defender on defense. We got Cabo with the throw, Machado into the area. Shabani makes it 2. Okay, it's a simple change, giving ourselves the goals that we need. Shabani has been excellent in the area for us. Ball goes to our our register. Playmaker gets into the area again. Feeds Shabani. Shabani's header only threatened the crossbar. All right, we're going to take one more. Fresh legs in the center. We'll take off our and swap. Basically, I'm getting a fresh ball winning midfielder in the middle. And then Machado, don't worry, we're going to bring Haidara on so that their wing back in this Regista has got a wing back who's fresh legs to help him out. The idea here is to make sure that the Regista has got protection. Okay, here we go. Yes, Lons have beaten Ajaccio or Ayasio. I don't know how to pronounce this. And I do apologize if I massacred the name of the club. Yes, we have won this game as well. It's 2-0. Now it depends on the last game of the season. The last game of the season, we travel to Auxerre away from home. For the title, we'll have to play Auxerre, who are playing a 4-4-2. This should be fun. All right. The idea against the 4-4-2 was simple, right? Don't change anything. We'll just play this guy as a poacher again. And then when we score the goal, we'll make the changes. All right, here we go. Match is starting. Nervous. We are. Lons versus Auxerre. We've played quite well against the 4-4-2 so far. The idea has always been keep the ball away from that formation. Pierre da Costa, Machado with the header. We're going to encourage our boys after about 15 minutes. Junior Onana tries to feed our boy. I want to see whether this guy is on attack. I'm going to try the same thing again, which is to launch a one side onto attack. But we are playing away from home, so I need to find out how they are playing here. Or try running at our defense. Jolly is a good player. Okay, so I'm going to make a quick change. I'm going to try and score that goal. Rual, what's happened to him? And this guy is carrying a knock. Last game of the season, he's carrying an injury. Okay, so we're just going to go wide centre back on attack, wing back on attack, and pray that our players can finish the game. All right, here we go. We got a lot of possession, which is one of the reasons why I'm willing to make this change. Okay, so we're going to play him as an advanced forward. They are playing they are playing a fullback and a wingback. Yes, I can afford definitely to be more aggressive. So far, nothing much is happening. Samba, Ruol, Danso, out to Frankowski. The wingback plays it back to the central defender who's carrying a knock. Medina brings the ball forward, looks for options, finds the playmaker, finds Openda. Openda shoots, scores. We have the lead. Okay, now we are definitely going to drop this from wingback to wingback on support and play this guy as a ball playing defender on defense. We should have done enough for narrow win, just as long as we keep these guys fresh. Okay, good header down. Openda finds Frankowski, turns back to Danso. Nice pass. Ooh, we should have scored another goal. I don't believe the football is good. We just should have added one more. Lens have won the title. We have done it. We are champions of France. It is a very, very important day for us as we lift the French League title. Take it away from PSG. The boys have done. Shabani Inda is jumping up and down, as you can see. No one gave him a chance this season. No one expected him to join this French side, but he joined, he did, and he has helped us to lift the title. Yes, Lens are champions. So Lens finished the season 1 point ahead of PSG. And on top of that, I think we also won the Coupe de France final, beating Montpellier. So we've done the double. In terms of data hub, if I'm looking at the performances, I'm not too unhappy. 1.60 expected goals versus 0.96, which is good. I mean, we are defensively quite solid. So defensive actions, you notice, right? All the defensive actions are happening in and around our penalty area, which is to be expected. In terms of our attacking efficiency, we're solid. We are definitely good at scoring goals. In terms of our defensive efficiency, I think we're also one of the better teams in the land. We only concede 0.58 expected goals. This is solid. That means our goalkeeper has been doing quite well. Interceptions per game, 28.26, not very high. It's quite kind of surprising, the numbers. What I like is our pass maps as well. Looking at our pass maps, you can see how we cycle the ball towards the flanks, right? We keep a very solid anchor here. So this ball playing defender is actually very important to our system. And then we can circulate the possession of the ball and we can go attacking one way. We always have different options in attack, right? We can either use the wing back on the right to attack, or we can actually develop play using the register here. The register working well with the shadow striker. Again, we can create opportunities for our strikers. And this is something that we have done reasonably well with our system. We're always producing quality chances, right? So here we got one, another one from this area, and another one where we're here. So I would be very happy if I have two of these a game. In terms of creating chances, I think we're pretty happy. Defensively, we did quite well. So we won the title. We've done okay. And on the next show, I will share these strategies with you and I explain each one of these in detail so that you understand my shorthand. We've come up with some strategies against different formations. Now, I'm very happy with our performances. I'm going to let this save run until at least July because I need to look at how the youth team did in terms of development. So it means I have to go into the market. I've got to go in and look for some players too. I hope you enjoyed today's show. And if you found it useful, please let me know. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you guys know to find me. Once again, I want to thank everybody for their continued support. You've been absolutely fantastic. Meanwhile, you guys stay safe. Take care of each other. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.